Okay. And when we're lying on our back, let's just take our little Pilates compass, bringing our thumbs to touch, our first fingers to touch, bringing that down on our pelvis. Heels of the hands resting on our hip bones, fingers resting down on our pubic bone. A few tilts of our pelvis forward and back. As we tilt our pelvis forward, our hip bones come higher than our pubic bone and our lower back lifts away from the mat. As we tilt our pelvis backwards, our pubic bone comes higher than our hip bones and our lower back collapses onto the mat. So a few more times, forward and back. Just get a bit of movement in the pelvis and the lower back area. And then we'll start to find our neutral central position where our hip bones and our pubic bone are flat in one plane. They should feel flat underneath your hands and they should be parallel with the ceiling above us. That's where we want to keep our pelvis. We want to keep that little lift in the lower back, so the lower back shouldn't be fully collapsed onto the mat. Think about pressing in with your sacrum at the back of the pelvis and also pressing in with the rib cage so that you keep that little lift in the center. And then taking your hands, bring to the side of the body rather, bring your thumbs onto your 10th rib and your first or second finger onto your hip bones. And we're just going to take a few rounds of breath here just to find our rib to hip connection. So breathing into the side and the back of the ribs. Exhale, then draw your ribs down towards your hips. So we're breathing into the side and the back, so we're trying not to flare the front. Inhale into the side and the back of the ribs. Press your body against the mat. Exhale, draw your ribs down towards your hips. We'll go for one more round of breath. Inhaling into the back and the side of the ribs. Really get that 360-degree breath. Exhale as you draw those ribs down towards the hips. And the belly is nice and engaged there. We're trying to draw the belly button back towards the spine, still keeping the lower back lifted. And then take your hands and just run them across the collarbones and shoulders. Just make sure that the shoulders are nice and flat on the mat. The shoulder blades should feel flat on the mat behind you. Maybe a little lift of the head, a slight tuck of your chin towards your chest. And we're just lengthening the back of the neck there. So we're not trying to draw the chin all the way in. Imagine you have that little peach underneath your chin. You're trying not to squash the peach in that position, but we just want to maintain that nice long neck at the back. Okay, with the legs bent and the feet on the floor, let's take our arms to the mat above us. As we raise the arms, just be careful not to flare your ribs now. That often happens, so just keep the ribs tucking down towards the hips. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale with the arms on the mat. Exhale as you lift the arms, lift the head, neck and shoulders off the mat, squeezing the belly, draw your fingers down towards your feet. Inhale at the top. Exhale, draw the arms back down, nice and slow and controlled. Let the head, neck and shoulders come back down. Inhale here, exhale, draw up, squeeze the abdominal muscles, squeeze your belly button back towards your spine. Inhale, exhale, draw the body back down. Keeping that lower back lifted, keep working with your breath. As you draw up, squeeze the abdominals, lift with your chest, lift with your shoulders, try not to lift with the neck. Moving with your breath still, inhaling as you come back down, exhaling as you lift. Just lifting to the shoulder blades coming off the mat, the very tip of the shoulder blade, the pointy bit, that's as far as you go. The rest of your back is staying on the mat, so we're just lifting head, neck and shoulders off the mat and then slowly lowering them back down. The lift is happening from your abdominals and, as I said, from the chest and the shoulders. If you're feeling any tension in the neck, just relax on the mat for a moment. We're going to add in legs and you'll be feeling it in the abdominals again in just a second. Okay, next time your arms come back down to the mat, take a little breather. Let the arms come back down alongside the body for a moment. Maybe windshield wiper the knees or hug the knees into the chest. We're going to add in some leg work right now. So we're doing the same thing with our upper body. We're just going to bring our legs into play. This is going to work into the low, deep abdominals now. So we take our legs to tabletop, bring your knees over your hips. Keep that lower back lifted, point the toes or flex the feet. Just keep the legs nice and active. Arms come back to the mat above your head. Inhale with the arms on the mat. Exhale as you lift the body off the mat. Reach your fingers down towards the front of the mat. Inhale, exhale, lower the arms and the upper body back down. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale and exhale, lower back down. A little bit more challenging now on the abdominals with the legs in tabletop. Let's do two more here with the legs just in tabletop, keeping the knees stacked over the hips, keeping the lower back lifted. Keep the abdominals engaged, keep pressing the belly button back towards the spine. And lowering back down on your exhale. This time as we lift up, extend the legs long, bring your feet towards the sky. And then as you lower back down, rebend the knees, bring the knees back over the hips. Inhale here, exhale, extend the legs, point the toes towards the sky. Inhale and exhale, rebend the knees. We're going to go for 2 more. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lower. Last one, inhale, exhale, lift and extend the legs, toes towards the sky. Inhale, exhale, lower. Okay, bring your arms back down alongside the body, hug the knees in or let the feet drop and windshield wiper the knees. Well done. We're going to go into our 100 next. Just keep the blood flowing and pumping in the body. So our 100, if you're not familiar, I'll just run through a quick few options for setup. The upper body can be resting on the mat, or the upper body, the head, neck and shoulders can be off the mat in that same lifted position that we were just in. The difference here is that we're going to stay lifted. We're not going to be lifting and lowering through the upper body. So we're just resting on those pointy bits at the bottom of our shoulder blades. The arms are going to be down alongside us. The palms are going to be facing down. The options for the legs here are that they're in tabletop, or they're moving through those 3 levels where you're taking the feet towards the sky, the feet towards the mat, and in that bent position. So you can move through those 3 different levels as we move through the 10 breaths. It's 10 sequence of breath, 5, count to 5 for your inhale, count to 5 for your exhale. I'll do the counting, you guys are just doing the moving. So when we lift up, if we're lifting up our chest, we're lifting up into that lifted position. The legs are starting maybe in tabletop, arms alongside you, and then we're bouncing those basketballs beside our body. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 9, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly let the upper body come down to the mat. Knees bend, feet to the floor, or hug the knees into the chest. Okay, take a little recovery, a little bit of movement, or if you need just a stretch of the body, a little bit of stillness either, whatever is feeling good right now. Okay, so we're going for our single leg stretch next. Single leg stretch. The body is going to be starting in that same starting position. The upper body either resting on the mat or the upper body lifted. Legs will be starting in tabletop as well. The arms are reaching down towards, alongside the body, fingers reaching towards the end of the mat. And just be careful of the neck now. If we're starting to notice any tension creeping into the neck, just take the upper body back down to the mat and you'll still feel this work in the abdominals even with the upper body on the mat. So for single leg stretch, we're extending one leg long and then inhale to bring it back to bent. Exhale as we extend, inhale, return. You could start to move with your breath, alternating just inhale and exhale, extending with one leg for your inhale, and what did I say for inhale? And exhale on the other leg, just alternating the breath. Try and bring the knee to stack back over your hip when you're coming back so that we can maintain that lift in the lower back. We're still squeezing the abdominals. And the extended leg can be maybe lowered down towards the mat, working into the deeper lower abdominals. But if you want to keep it a little easier tonight, just keep the foot towards the sky. Okay, we're going for a last few on each leg. Last 3 on this side. Last 3 on this side. Last 2. Last 2. Last 1. Last 1. Let the feet come down, let the upper body come back down. Again, take a little moment for recovery. You're doing great, well done. All right. So we have done the roll down before, but we haven't tried the roll up. So tonight we're going to give the roll up a little try. So all that means is that we're rolling up from a lying position up to a seated position. So it works our abdominals still quite a bit. The legs can be bent or extended with this one. We're having the same setup as we do when we're doing our full roll down, where our arms are on the mat above us. If you want to watch me for a second, if you're not sure where I'm going with it, you can sit up and watch me. Otherwise, I'll just try and talk you through it. The arms are on the mat. We take an inhale to take our hands to the sky, and we exhale, draw ourselves all the way up to seated. We're going to roll ourselves back down like we do in a roll down, but we're just going to be focusing on the roll up part. We're not adding in our spine stretch. So we're going to try 4 roll ups. These are part of the classic exercises of Joseph Pilates. This is our last new one in our lying section, but we're adding a few more into the rest of the sections this evening. So on your back, legs straight or bent. I think that it's a little bit easier with the legs straight and the toes pointed, so that you can really press the legs against the mat. And then the arms are up above the head, just like we do when we're starting ab prep. So with your arms on the mat, take an inhale to draw the hands up to the sky, and then exhale, draw yourself up to seated if you can, all the way up to seated. Take an inhale here, exhale, we're going to roll back down. So we're really focusing on the lifting part. The roll down is just a little complement to come back down. So inhale, take your hands to the sky. Exhale, lift yourself up, coming up into seated. Inhale and exhale, roll yourself gently back down. We're going to go for 2 more if we can. If you're finding it frustrating, just come to some C curves. We're just doing 2 last roll ups here. Inhale with the arms on the mat to take the arms to the sky. Exhale, drawing yourself up to seated, all the way up. Inhale and exhale, we'll roll down. And our last time, inhale with the arms lifting to the sky. Exhale as we lift our body all the way up to seated. Okay, let the arms relax, let the legs relax, maybe give the legs a little shake out. So he does the 2 different versions, roll downs and roll ups. Just as I said, adding in some of these new ones tonight. Okay, we're starting our seated section with our spine stretch. So legs are about hip width apart. Flex the feet and keep the legs nice and active, sitting up nice and tall, up onto your sit bones, open through the chest. Keep your ribs tucking down towards your hips. So if that means that we slightly roll the shoulders towards the front of the body, towards your hips, I prefer this than rolling back into our lower back and flaring our ribs and letting the belly be relaxed. We want to keep that rib to hip connection. We want to keep the abdominals engaged. The arms are out in front of us, out from our shoulders, and for our spine stretch, we're just rounding from the bottom of the ribs to the top of the head, reaching and lengthening forward. We're going for 4 spine stretches. Inhale, exhale, reach forward, reach the fingers forward, reach the crown of the head forward. Inhale and exhale, restack. Inhale, exhale, reach forward, round through the top of the spine. Inhale, exhale, restack. Keep the legs nice and active. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, reach and lengthen. Reach out through the crown of the head. Inhale, exhale, restack. Lovely. Last one. Inhale, exhale, reach and lengthen. Maybe going as far as you can this time. Inhale, exhale, restack. Lovely. Let the arms relax. Maybe roll the shoulders. Maybe give the legs a little shake out. Okay, we're going straight into our C curves. You might notice we're doing a little bit of less of a pause tonight because that's how Joseph designed it. It didn't really leave too much of a gap between each exercise. So we're, as we build our momentum up and our strength up, we're going to be lessening those little gaps. So straight into our C curves, we're going to go for 6 C curves tonight. The legs can be flat on the mat, or we can come back to that bent knee position with the feet on the floor. Just keep the legs hip width apart, whichever version you're coming to. So our C curve is a rounding of our spine from the crown of the head all the way to the tailbone. We're really releasing our back into that lovely C shape, going down as far as we can, taking a pause, taking an inhale, and then coming back up to a lovely tall seat again. Okay, when you're ready, keep your legs nice and active. Inhale. Exhale, roll through the spine, coming down as low as you can. Inhale, and then exhale, restack the body, thinking about pelvis, spine, shoulders, neck and head. 5 left. Inhale, exhale, roll back. hold it, take an inhale, exhale, roll yourself back up, pelvis, spine, shoulders, neck and head. 4 left, inhale, exhale, roll back. Watch the shoulders, keep them down away from the ears, take an inhale when you get to your pause, and then exhale, rolling back up. Well done everybody. We've got 3 left, inhale, exhale, roll back, control it, take your inhale, exhale, rolling back up, all the way to seated, last 2, inhale, exhale, roll back, hold it and inhale, exhale, restack, all the way back up, nice and tall when we come back up, last 1, inhale, exhale, roll back, pause and take your inhale, exhale, restack, all the way back up. Okay, relax the shoulders, relax the legs. Those little pauses when we come back and we pause it to take our inhale, they're really working those deep abdominals as well, so don't be fooled that we're not doing abdominal work. We definitely are in those little pauses. Okay, if you joined me on Tuesday, we already did this one this week, but we're going to come to our reverse plank. We're going to hold it for 3 rounds. We're going to hold it for a count of 5, 3 rounds of those holds, and then we're going to add in the little leg lifts. So reverse plank, the Pilates version, the hands and the fingers can be facing to the back of the mat or to the side, and you can be coming to just a reverse plank hold like this, or you can come to a reverse tabletop if that one feels more accessible tonight. When we're doing our holds, we're just holding in position, and then we'll add the leg lifts afterwards. Okay, so wherever you want the hands to face, the hands are about a foot and a half behind you, and we're going to be taking our gaze up towards where the ceiling and the wall meet, so kind of diagonally away from you rather than up high, so we don't collapse into the back of the neck. All right, so reverse plank or reverse tabletop, lifting up, and keep the hips nice and elevated. We're holding for 5, 4, keep breathing, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower the pelvis down, release the shoulders, release the wrists. We're going for 2 more of those little holds. You still have time to change to the other option if you prefer. If you're in plank, you can move to a tabletop. Okay, we've got another hold. When you're ready, take an inhale, lift the pelvis, point the toes or flex the feet, holding for 5, 4, squeeze the glutes, lift the hips, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower down. All right, we've got 1 left of the holds. Are we doing okay? Yeah. If it's feeling too much on the wrists, you could come to a forearm version as well. You're obviously not going to lift as high, but you could come to that version if that one feels better for the last one. Okay, when you're ready, take an inhale, lifting up the pelvis, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower down. All right, give a little roll of the shoulders, a roll of the wrists. We're going to just do our leg lifts in a seated version before we come up to do them in our elevated version. So this is going to be an option that you could maintain. You could do extra leg lifts if it's too hard to do it when you're in the reverse plank. So the hands can be just gently on the mat beside us, on our fingertips or on our fists. If we let the palms come down, sometimes we collapse the body. So we want to keep the body nice and tall, keep your rib cage tucking down towards your hips. So almost again that little shoulder tilt forward rather than tilting and flaring through the ribs. So hands just gently on the mat, flex the feet, and we're just lifting through the legs. Try and activate your quads and your hip flexors at the front of the leg. Trying not to use the body to get more elevation. It's not about how high you can lift, it's just about the activation of the front of the leg. Okay, well done everyone. Let's go for our last few on each side. Last 4, last 4, last 3, last 3, last 2, last 2, last 1, last 1. Okay, get the legs a little shake out. So you can stay with those leg lifts for this last reverse plank version, or if you want to, you can come up to do them in reverse plank or reverse tabletop. If you're doing reverse tabletop, just to show you what it'll look like, so you'll be here and then you'll just be kicking the leg straight out rather than lifting the leg too high. You're just wanting to extend the leg long. And then if you're in reverse plank, it's obviously just a little leg lift here. So we're going to be doing 5 leg lifts in our hold. We're going to do 3 more sets. All right, so hands behind you, or if you're just staying seated, just sitting up nice and tall. And then we're lifting our pelvis, coming into reverse plank or reverse tabletop, and we're lifting for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the pelvis down gently, relax the shoulders, relax the wrists. Okay, 2 more sets. We're nearly there. Getting those nice strong legs. All right, when you're ready, take an inhale, lift the pelvis, and lifting for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we've got 1 set left. Relax the shoulders, relax the wrists. Last set. Whenever you're ready, take an inhale, lift the pelvis, keep the pelvis nice and high as we lift the legs for 5, 4, are you okay? Can you take a break? Okay. Sorry, let's come back to that one. Kevin's just going to take a rest. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, slowly coming back down. Take a little bit of a breather. If you needed a bit of movement, if you want to lie onto your back for a second, you can do. We're going to finish our seated set with saw this evening. The music is getting louder in my ear. Okay. So we'll take the legs back out long, flex the feet. The legs are about hip width apart. And for saw, I think we all have enough space between us, that's perfect. So saw is a little twist through the upper body. So we're twisting from the bottom of the rib cage to the top of the head, and then we're adding in a spine stretch. So I'll just show you what it looks like before we come into it. I don't think we've all done it before. So we're twisting to the side, then we turn our backhand away, we turn our front hand to the mat, and we add our spine stretch, bringing your baby finger over your baby toe, and then you lift back up, we turn back to the center. So we twist, we turn the palms, we add our spine stretch, and we come back up. Don't worry too much about the breath tonight. I'll try and cue you with the breath, but just keep breathing as you're moving. That's the most important thing. If we can get the movement, we will figure out the breath after. Okay, just be careful of the ribs again. Tuck the ribs down towards your hips. Try not to flare as we lift up. Arms are slightly forward of your shoulders. We're not pressing our shoulder blades together. Okay, we'll all turn to the right first. So when you're ready, twisting to the right, bring your baby finger in line with your baby toe, reaching forward, coming back to center with your inhale. Exhale to twist to the left, baby finger to baby toe, stretching forward, lifting up, and return to center. Twisting with your exhale, inhale, reaching forward, exhale, coming back up, inhale, return. Exhale to twist, inhale, reach forward, exhale, lift up, inhale, return. Exhale to twist, inhale, reach forward, inhale, come back up, or exhale, come back up, inhale, return, exhale to the left, inhale, reach forward, exhale, come back up, inhale, return. Last one each side. Inhale, exhale to twist, inhale, reach forward, inhale, come back up, exhale, return, exhale to the left, inhale, reach forward, exhale, come back up, inhale, come back to the front. Okay, well done. Relax the arms, relax the legs. That one is deceptive. We're doing a lot of obliques work in that little twisting one, and the spine stretch obviously working the back of the body as well. It feels quite warm. Am I feeling warm on my own, or should I put on the cool air again?
You can put on the air.
Turn on the air again? Okay. Okay. Be careful. Oh dear. When we stepped it up, we went a bit too far, I think. Okay. Let's come to front lying next, and we'll save our clams for the one after this. So coming down onto your belly, as you come down to lie on your front, we're starting with swan dive tonight. So we're going to be taking our hands underneath our shoulders, almost like you're setting up for cobra. So hands under the shoulders, draw your elbows in next to your rib cage. As we come down to lying down as well, just being careful that you bring your rib cage still, your bottom of your rib cage down towards your hip bones. So we're not lifting up in our chest and lifting our head and neck. We're actually drawing the ribs down towards the hips to have that engagement at the front of the body. The legs, as always, when we're lying on our front, we draw our heels towards the center of the mat, the inseam of your leggings or your shorts in towards the center of the mat as well. So the legs are just gently active. Be careful with the shoulders, bring the shoulders down away from the ears, nice and long through the neck and nice and long through the crown of the head. So for swan dive, we're imagining we have that little marble on the mat just underneath our nose. As we lift our head and our chest, we're imagining that we're rolling that marble up the wall, and then we'll inhale at the top and we'll exhale, bring that marble back in under our nose. We're going to go for 4 swan dives. When you're ready, take an inhale. As you exhale, lift through the chest, lift that little marble, rolling it up the wall, engage the belly. Inhale, and then exhale, roll that marble back down underneath your nose. Inhale, exhale, lift, roll the marble, lift through the chest, nice and long through the crown of the head. Inhale, exhale, roll the marble back down all the way to underneath your nose. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, lift, belly button towards your spine, engage the belly. Inhale, exhale, coming back down. Last one. Inhale, exhale, roll the marble up, engage the belly. Inhale, exhale, slowly rolling back down. Okay, stack the hands underneath the head, bend the knees if you like, and sway the feet, sway the hips left and right, release the body. Okay, we're going to go for a double leg kick tonight. I have been adding the slightly harder version, but you have a few different options still in this one. So you could stay here with the hands stacked. And double leg kick is just where we're bringing the heels into the glutes, we're pulsing for 2, and we're bringing the legs back down. So this is the easiest of the options. The next hardest would bringing our arms into Sphinx. We're lifting our body off the mat. Our pelvis isn't even resting on the mat, just the thighs and the knees. And then we're heels to the glutes and back down. This is the medium level. And then the hardest one is where we take the hands behind our lower back, interlace the fingers, and we bring heels to the glutes, we bring the legs back down, we lift the upper body. Heels to the glutes, lower the legs, lift through the upper body. So you have 3 different levels, whichever version you want to come to. I'll move through all 3 just so you have reminders. So whenever you're ready, starting to kick your heels to the glutes for 2 pulses, lower the legs back down. Heels to the glutes and back down. Keep the breath flowing. There's no particular breath with this one, but just keep breathing. That's the most important part. So if you're working in the medium level, this is what it's looking like. Keep the belly engaged. Keep breathing. We're targeting our hamstrings and our glutes. And believe me, this one is subtle, but you will really notice it as the weeks go on. Getting nice strong hamstrings. Okay, we're going for our last 5, whichever version you're in. Last 4, last 3, last 2, last 1. Ooh, okay. Let the body come down to rest. Maybe stack the hands again, maybe bend the knees, and maybe sway the legs. Okay. So we're adding one more new one here. We already did the reverse plank with leg pull. So tonight we're doing the forward plank with leg pull. You've got your options for your plank as always. You can be in a full extended plank. We will need the legs extended for this one, so the options really are just with the arms. You can be in full extension or you can be in a forearm plank, whichever version feels better. The legs for our leg pull in plank are just going to be a leg kick, heel to the sky for 2 pulses. So that's it in forearm. And then the full version, we're keeping the body as steady as we can. We're kicking the heel to the sky, and that's what it looks like. So whichever version of plank you're coming to, full plank or forearm plank, whenever you're ready, starting to lift. 1 heel to the sky, 2 pulses. Keep breathing. Keep nice and long through the spine, out from the crown of the head all the way to the tailbone. Keep the glutes squeezed, keep the pelvis nice and high. Okay, let's go for last 3 on this side, last 3 on this side, last 2, last 2, last 1, last 1. Okay, slowly lower down, maybe taking a child's pose after that one. That's quite an effortful one. Okay, take a few breaths, stretch out the body, let the head come down, let the chest come down to the mat. Just feel a nice grounded connection with the earth for a moment. We are working hard tonight, flying through all our exercises. Okay, whenever you're ready, we're going to go for side lying. So we'll take our head towards the back of the room, feet towards me, and we'll lie to face the door. And as we come down, we can either be on our arm with our arm extended, resting our head down on our upper arm, or we can be on the forearm if that feels better tonight. If we're on the forearm, the elbows underneath the shoulder, we're lifting through the side of the body. If you wanted to pop a block there, you could. That's one option just to help you with that awareness. But really we're aiming to keep the body lifted here without any support underneath us. We'll take the legs bent just to start us off. So as you come into that position, we're trying to find alignment of our shoulder, our hip and our ankle. So the knees are quite far forward so that you can have the ankles in line with the hips. And we're stacking knees on top of knees, ankles on top of ankles. We're starting off with clams. So we're going to point the toes or flex the feet. And we're just lifting through that top knee, keep the feet together. And we're lifting and lowering. So feet stay on the floor, feet together, that's it. And we're just lifting the knee. Yep, foot there, and then we're just lifting the knee. That's it, yeah, no problem. That's another version of it. But tonight we're just doing the regular clams. So try and keep the hips stacked, trying not to roll back through the pelvis. So we're not trying to get more of the movement by rolling the pelvis back. We're trying to just isolate the movement, the thigh bone in your hip socket, really feeling the squeeze as you lift the leg and controlling it as it comes back down by using your adductors and abductors on either side of your thigh. Lifting and lowering. Try not to let gravity just sink it down to the mat. That's it. We're going for our last 4, last 3, last 2, last 1. Let the leg rest down, tap it out, shake it out, massage it out, anything you need to do. Okay, we're going to come to a little rotation through the hip. So this time this top leg is coming to hip height. We're not going to be letting it rest against the lower leg. We're flexing the foot, and then it's knees together, ankles together. So we're getting a nice rotation through the hip area. Knees touch, ankles touch. Do you want me to do it on the side just so that you can see it? So legs at about hip height, knees touch, ankles touch. So it's a nice rotation through the hip. The body stays as steady as we can, though. We're not moving the body to move the leg. Just moving the leg, that thigh bone again in the hip socket. Aiming for no hip replacements in this class. Knees together, ankles together. Keep the foot flexed to get that nice bit of activity in the leg. Last few of these. Okay, leg lifts and legs. And circles, right. Last few on this leg. Okay, last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Alright, rest the leg down, tap it out, shake it out, massage it out. Alright, the bottom leg can stay bent. We're going to extend the top leg long. And then we're trying to lift our heel slightly, bring your toe a little bit more to the mat. And then we're just lifting towards the sky and lowering it back down. So keep it about hip height, lifting and lowering with control. Take it nice and slow, point the toe or flex the foot. We should be feeling it in the IT band, the outer hip, the outside of your thigh. If you're feeling it in the quad and the hip flexor at the front, The pelvis might be rolling back a little bit, so make sure the pelvis is facing forward, hips stacking one on top of the other, maybe even lifting a little bit more through your heel to help you just to feel it at the side of the leg. Thanks everyone. Well done. Take it nice and slow. Let's go for our last 5, last 4, last 3, last 2, last 1. Okay, tap it out, shake it out, massage it out. You're doing okay? Alright, we've got 2 left with this leg, we're nearly there. So our last 2 are going to be that little sweeping action, that paintbrush I like to call it, where we have the leg at about hip height, we're pointing the toe to take it forward, we're using our heel to take it back, pelvis stays nice and steady. Again, all the movement in that thigh bone. And when you get to the back, to press it back, really taking a moment to pause, press it back in line with the back line of your mat. Feel the hamstrings and the glutes engage as you press the leg back. Really activating through the heel. Use your heel when you press it back. Lovely. Keep it a little higher, just about hip height. That's it. Keep that leg working nice and hard. Well done. Let's go for our last 4. Last 3, last 2, last 1. Alright, rest it, tap it, shake it, anything it needs. Last little bit for that leg, we're going to just finish with circles. So tonight I'm going to get you to aim for about a basketball size shape. So not too big and not too small, right in the middle. We're going to go for 5 circles in one direction and then 5 circles in the other. The key is try to keep the body nice and steady as we circle through the leg. Just point the toe or flex the foot and those 5 basketball size circles. When I'm at home this is a soccer ball, but here we'll go with basketball.
I think the circles are the hardest ones to do.
They are, they do challenge that whole hip area because you're working all the muscles all around the leg. And there's a lot of control needed as well because we want to kind of move the body to get more of shape of the circle, but then we want to keep that control, that's the aim. Okay, when you finish your 10, so 5 in one direction, 5 in the other, you can lie onto your back for a moment, massage out that leg that you've just worked. If you want to windshield wiper the knees, if you want to draw the knees in towards the chest, anything at all that feels good for the body there. Take a little breather. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to come over to the other side. We're going to work the other leg. So as you come down to lie on the other side, again, maybe lying out on your arm, maybe taking the head to rest on the upper arm, or bringing the elbow underneath the shoulder, bringing the forearm onto the mat. If we're coming onto the forearm, just lift through the sides of the body, really keep the body engaged, keep the rib cage tucking down towards your hips. And our knees are both bent. We're taking our shoulder, our hip, and our ankle in one line. Knees forward on your mat, bring your feet together, bring our knees together, and then we're lifting and lowering through that top knee, just our regular clams, lift and lower. Keep the feet pointed or the feet flexed so that you have that nice bit of activity through the whole leg. Lifting and lowering. Keep the body nice and steady as you challenge it with that movement, really nice. And when we're up on our side, looking great normal, but just keep the chest nice and open. Yeah, that's okay. You can have the hand if it can reach, but just try and try not to create any extra tension. That's all we're wanting to do. Keep the body nice and open. Keep the breath flowing. Okay, we're going for our last 5, last 4, last 3, last 2. Last 1. Okay, let the leg rest, tap it out, shake it out, massage it out. And we're doing that new version of clam, I like to call it, but it's a rotation through our hip. The leg is at about hip height, we're flexing the foot, and we're bringing knees to touch, ankles to touch. Knees to touch, ankles to touch. This one's working that whole hip area, getting a nice bit of movement in your hip, working the hip flexors, the glutes, all into that hip socket area. I think this is the one I really notice after doing teaching, so I hope you notice it as well in the days to come, in a good way. Knees to touch, ankles to touch, nice bit of rotation. Okay, let's go for last 5, last 4, last 3, last 2, and last 1. Alright, let the leg rest down, tap it out, massage it out, shake it out. Alright, bottom leg is staying bent. We're extending the top leg, taking it about hip height, slightly rolling it forward so that your heel is more elevated than your big toe, and then we're just lifting towards the sky, lifting and lowering through the side of the leg. Activating the abductors on the outer thigh, activating the glute and the hip, but controlling it at the same time with the abductor on the inner thigh. So don't let it just collapse back down. Control the lift, control the lower, nice and slow with that one. And again, if you're getting a huge amount of lift, you might be rolling back with your hips slightly. You might be using those quads at the front. We shouldn't have a huge amount of range of movement in the side of our hip area unless you're quite double jointed in your hip. You should be only able to lift to a certain height. Last 3, last 2, last 1, because I get carried away talking. Relax the leg, take it out, tap it out, massage it out. And you know that trick, that if I'm still talking and you're feeling like you've done too many, just take a breather, join me for the last few, I'll always give you a countdown. Okay?
I think a few in the US and Ireland may be different.
Might be different. And one fun fact about Pilates teachers, we don't really count. So I just keep going until it starts to feel sore in my body, and then I'm telling you to count down. So we may not do exactly the same number on each leg, but it's the same feeling. That's what we're aiming for.
Same part.
Exactly. Okay, so the top leg is straight still, and we're doing our little sweep. So it's a toe forward, heel back. Keep the leg at about hip height, so it's nice and elevated away from that lower leg. It's not getting a chance to rest. Toe forward, heel back. Hips staying stacked, body's not helping. We're just sweeping that thigh bone in the hip socket still. Lots of lovely action inside of that hip tonight. Okay. And remembering as well, I often remind you can do all of these sideline ones standing, so any opportunity you get during the week, throw in a few of these. They'll do wonders for your legs and your hips. Last 3, last 2, last 1. Alright, to rest the leg, tap it out, massage it out. And we're finishing with our circles. 10 little circles to round us out. Our little basketball size circles, point the toe or flex the foot, and we're circling in one direction for 5. And reversing for 5. Nice and steady, nice and slow. If you're noticing a lot of movement in the body, it might mean that you're going a bit fast. So slow it right down until you can control it. Keep the body nice and steady. As I always say, mat Pilates is about finding the control and then challenging that control by moving the limbs. So that's what you're doing here. You're challenging that stability and control by moving your leg. Okay, when you've done your 10 circles, come down to lie down on your back. Take a little bit of movement or a bit of a stretch. If you want to windshield wiper the knees, bring the knees in towards the chest, or maybe a full body stretch feels good right now. The arms have been working there by holding you up, or just activated anyway. Okay, we're going to just finish off by trying a couple of last ones, a couple of new ones, and then we're going to finish with our standing roll downs. So while we're on our mat, you guys can just sit up if you want, and I'll just show you, I think some people did see this one a couple of weeks ago, teaser. So I'm just going to do a little demo of it, then we might try it together, and we're just going to try one other new one as well this evening. So teaser, the teaser position, when you're in it in its full expression, it looks like this. The arms are parallel to the legs, and this is where we're holding. It's a bit like Navasana in yoga, but we're lifting a little bit more through the whole body, and we're holding here. Now, that's where we're holding the position, but we're actually in Pilates trying to move in and out of teaser as well, just to, further the challenge. So when we are in teaser, we start to bend through the knees, we make that C shape with our back, and we roll down with control all the way down to the mat. And then we're trying to lift back up into that teaser position again. So as we exhale, we lift up, we come back up, legs and arms are extended parallel. So we bend and we lower, curve the spine, roll down, and we exhale, lift up, extend the legs, extend the arms. Do we want to give it a try? We'll just try for 2 if we can. See how we get on. It's just a little challenge and it's a new one, so let's see how we get on. So we'll start in the teaser position. So we're extending arms, extending legs, reaching both forward. We're trying to be on our sit bones as much as possible. And then we're taking a bend in the knees, round your spine into C curve, and then slowly roll your spine down if you can. Take it nice and slow. Keep your arms up overhead. Take an inhale on the mat. As you exhale, lift up, lifting up to bring arms and legs parallel. Well done, everyone. We try one more. Bend the knees, curve the spine, slowly roll yourself down. Keep the arms elevated. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lift your arms, lift your legs. Ooh, ooh. There we go. Back up. Okay, bring the feet back down. Take a little breather. There was a time when I used to have to demonstrate that one, and I'd say to everybody, I can't do this one while I talk, so I'm gonna demonstrate it without speaking, and then we'll do it together. I'm getting a bit better at talking at the same time now, but it's still a challenge. So that's teaser, and teaser is a teaser. It's quite a challenge. Our last other one that we're going to try tonight is double leg circles. This one is hard. It's hard on the abdominals, it's hard on the hips and the pelvis. My other students in the past have told me it looks really easy when you do it, and then when we tried it, it wasn't that hard. That wasn't that easy. So just bear that in mind. It might look a little easier than it actually is. There's a few different setups for the upper body. The full version would be where we're sitting. The hands are just behind us, and again we're in almost like that teaser position again when we start, and then we're circling the legs around, trying to bring the legs together, trying to circle in one direction, and then we circle back in the opposite direction. Some people like to do this one with their forearms on the mat. So we're circling here. And some people find it too much to have the upper body lifted, so you could come back down and circling the legs together with the body on the mat. I'm going to give that one a try. So whether you want to be lifted with the arms extended on the forearms or the body on the mat, and then lifting the legs up into teasers, trying to stay on your sit bones as much as possible, circling the legs around nice and slow. Make one big circle. We're aiming for 5 circles if we can in both directions. Keep the chest nice and lifted, nice and long through the crown of the head. Well done, everyone. Keep breathing. Don't forget to breathe. If you've done your 5 in one direction, reverse your circle. 5 slow circles. Keep the legs together. Keep the feet pointed or the feet flexed. Okay, when you've done your 5, take a little breather. Okay, you did really well. Well done. Come back down to lie on your back if you like. We feel that one in the hip flexors, the hips, the lower back, the abdominals. Yeah. So you see, we've been working a lot on all the small little skills, and now it's all starting to come together to make these more complicated ones. So you can see why we had to do a lot of work in the basics before we started to add in the harder ones. But hopefully you're starting to feel like it connects now. Yes?
Yes.
Getting there? Okay. Even if you know what you're aiming for, that's all I'm looking for. Okay, when you're ready, we'll start to make our way up to standing. We're going to finish our last little bit of work before we start to shake it all out and relax it all out with roll downs with a little push-up set. So we're going to do 3 roll downs, but on our last one, we're going to do the version where we walk the hands out, 3 press-ups, walk the hands back. Have we done that before? Everyone's done it before with me? Yes. Will I do one to demonstrate? So the roll downs in Pilates are where we're imagining you have a little fence in front of our rib cage is the best way I think to describe it. We want to lift the body, scoop the belly, scoop the chest, and lift up over the fence. So it looks like this, the roll down. I'll just do one so that you can see what it looks like. So we're lifting up the body like you're diving into a pool, bending the knees and bringing the hands all the way down. We take an inhale and then we draw back up. We're going to do 2 of these regular ones, and on our 3rd one, when the hands come to the mat, we're going to walk our hands out, 1, 2, 3. We're going to find a plank. We're going to do 3 press-ups. Whatever version you like, you can have the knees on the floor either for that. 3 press-ups, and then we walk ourselves back, 1, 2, 3. And then we draw ourselves all the way, much slower than that, but all the way back up to standing. Okay, so 3 in total. On the third one, we're doing our press-ups. So feet are about hip width apart. Come towards the back of your mat so you just have enough space at the front for your press-ups. And then take your inhale, take your arms overhead, reach through the fingers. Exhale, dive up and over that fence, scoop the belly, lift the chest, bend the knees. Nice and slow, really articulate through the spine, rounding each vertebrae. When the hands reach the mat, take an inhale. Exhale, draw yourself up and over that fence. Keep the knees bent if you need to. Re-roll the spine all the way to extension. Inhale, exhale, dive up and over. Scoop the belly, lift the chest, bend the knees. Hands reach the mat, take an inhale. Exhale, lift your body all the way back up, nice and slow, restacking the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way to extension. Last one, inhale. Exhale, dive up and over, bending the knees. This time when the hands reach the mat, we're walking 3 steps out. So walking out, 1, 2, 3, staying on the extended version or dropping the knees. 3 press-ups, 1, 2, and 3. Walk yourself back, 1, 2, and 3. Bend the knees, take an inhale. Exhale, restack the body all the way back up. Okay, let the arms come back down. Let's start to roll it out and shake it out. Roll the shoulders a couple of times in both directions. Oh, right, that was quite an intense one to this evening. Okay, feet are about hip width apart. Let's just stretch out through the side of the body first. So take an inhale, take your arms overhead, bringing them to prayer. Exhale, leaning to your right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, lean left. Inhale, back to center. 1 more time each side. Exhale to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, back to center. Let the arms come back down. A couple more rolls of the shoulders. Okay, let's take the feet a little wider. Soften the knees. Relax the body a little bit more. And then we're just swaying the arms to look over each shoulder. Trying to release any tension now. Even give the arms a little shake as we twist. Trying to let the breath be nice and relaxed. Let the body be nice and relaxed. Maybe we even sway a little bit into the legs. Whatever extra bits feel good for your body now. Just want to try and release the tension. That's all we're trying to do. Okay, last 5 and 4, 3 and 2 and 1. Slowly coming back to the front. If you need a moment to find your focus, do that. Take the feet back in towards hip width apart. And then we'll just stretch out the neck as well. So take your chin towards your right shoulder. Keep your shoulders down away from the ears. Stretch through the side of the neck. Head to the center. And then chin towards your left shoulder. Back to center. We'll do that 1 more time each side. Chin to the right shoulder. Back to center. Chin to the left shoulder. Back to center. Okay, chin towards the sky, thinking about stretching through the front of the neck, so keep the back of the neck nice and long. And then chin down towards your chest, lengthening through the back of the neck. Drop your chin as low as you can. Lifting the chin towards the sky, lifting and opening through into the chest. And then drop your chin down towards your chest, lengthening at the back. Chin back to center. And then we're dropping right ear to right shoulder, maybe lifting through the left arm. Keep the shoulder down away from the ear. I tend to bring my shoulder to my ear, that's why I have to remind you. Back to center. Left ear, left shoulder. Maybe raising the right arm. Back to center. We'll do that 1 more time each side. Right ear, right shoulder. Back to center. Left ear, left shoulder. Back to center. Okay, a few more rolls of the shoulders in both directions. Maybe take a moment after that just to tune into the body for a second, see how the body's feeling. If you need to stretch out or shake out any other parts, by all means, you've got time to do that. And we're probably actually finished a few minutes early, but if there's anything else, any other questions you have for me tonight, I'm here to chat with you. We did add in a few extra ones, a few new ones tonight, so if there's anything we want to do a little workshop on before you go, we're welcome to do that. I'm just going to press stop.